In the world of emergency services, there are some phrases which are never uttered, for their resulting effects are too terrible to comprehend. Phrases such as calm, slow, or even the dreaded quiet are almost always met with gasps and condemnation. But why does the culture of emergency services have this? We'll discuss that today. This is Lifeline. So, Erica, why does why do emergency services, 911, police, fire, EMS, they all seem, everyone that I've ever spoken to, they all have these words that are um, the Lord Voldemorts of, you know, the world. You don't say them, otherwise bad things are definitely going to happen.
Because bad things definitely happen, Gary.
Fair enough. Okay, well, that's our episode. Thank you
I
for
mean,
watching.
yeah, sure. I mean, problem solved, case closed, done. We're out of here. Peace out. See you later. Bye.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is because people feel like bad things correlate with these words. Like if you say the word calm, you're definitely going to have a shooting happen in the next 5 minutes.
Yep. Or at some
And
point.
yeah, and that could be at any point of the day. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
4 hours ago you said calm. Now look at where we're at," and it's just impossible to kind of overcome that when you work at a profession that deals with these incidents. Like, whether you say the word or not, it's still going to happen.
But the question is, would it though if you didn't say it? Because I can
Well, I mean,
remember, and one of my favorite phrases is, I'm sitting there, I'm got my feet kicked up, I'm chilling, Sunday morning day shift style, just leaning back. And one of my colleagues who act like they brand new, never been in the building before, goes, geez, man, it's really slow. I have been known to pick up an item, piece of paper, roll it up, and throw it at them. Going, you never, ever, 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 ever. Come on, man. You don't say that. 10 minutes later, the bottom falls out. Now, you can't
yeah,
tell
and
me that that wasn't because they said it.
yeah, and like you've got like I will do that too. If someone says, "Oh man, it's been really calm this morning," I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing? You've jinxed the entire rest of the day."
Gary, really?
Yeah, yeah,
What's wrong
and
with you, man?
I know, and that I wonder if that comes from more of like sort of a fun little cultural aspect rather than people actually feeling very concerned that it will lead to wrath and ruin for them in the center.
Armageddon. Well, it wouldn't be such a thing if, and I don't know why it happens this way, but inevitably something happens after some schmuck goes, it's slow. I'm bored. Go find something to do if you bored. Don't speak those words and bring down, the wrath of the gods down on my head because it won't be your radio that all hell breaks loose on. It'll be mine.
Hmm.
Or I'll get the jumper that wants to talk for 4.5 hours. I can go to the bathroom and nothing else, and I can trace it back to you.
Hmm. I'm coming after you because you did this to me by
Yes, and I
by
have made
bringing
those
this.
threats before.
Hmm.
I'm that
By bringing
person,
this
guys.
hex.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, I am that person. I am her, my alter ego, Boquita. I think everybody ought to have one. Matter of fact, we ought to do a show on
On
alter.
alter on
Yes.
EDPs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, 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 that's not what I meant. Alter egos, and I think everybody ought to have one. Everybody has a dispatcher voice, an alter ego, the person that creeps up, and they just grab the headset from you and they put it on real quick. They say crazy stuff and then they give it back to you after it's all been taken care of. I'm so off topic right now, but anyway.
So, it's interesting, but like, yeah, it's got a certain almost uh, power to it, to the
Mm-hmm.
people viscerally feel like, oh, they shudder. They're like, oh, I know what's going to happen now.
Yes.
And and I think a lot of that has to do with, because we work in an environment where emergencies do happen on occasion, um,
Every now
hence
and then,
emergency,
just,
services. Um, People will, correlate in their mind, like they said quiet 3 hours ago, and now we've got a house fire. So those have to be related.
they are related.
Um,
They
yeah,
are
yeah.
related, Gary. And
hmm
I challenge anyone to prove me wrong. How about that?
Well, not to get, I guess, too esoteric, but there's a Latin phrase that kind of sums up this feeling. It's ad hoc ergo proctor hoc, meaning if then, therefore, because of. So saying
Yes.
that two things, yeah, I mean, like we all know that, right? Yeah.
Yes. And in case you're
In,
wondering which side of the coin I come down on, I am a firm believer. I am in. Yes, it is all the fault of the person who says those words. And ask anybody that works in an ER, they'll tell you the same thing.
hmm But like when nobody says the word and something catastrophic happens, what do people feel then? Are they like,
Well,
oh,
well, that was gonna happen,
that was going to happen? Yeah. There's no chance it wouldn't happen.
right?
Hmm. Yeah, so I think a lot of that's people's tendency to kind of correlate things just because there might be proximal cause, but there's not an actual cause. And then people tend to remember um, the events that support their presupposition, uh, of,
Oh,
hey,
brother.
saying this word will lead to a negative outcome. So I'm going to remember that. And the times that it doesn't happen, yeah, that was a one-off. Don't count that.
Absolutely. It absolutely was a one off, or better yet, that was going to happen. You just hadn't said it yet. How about that?
Mhm. But yeah, it's really interesting because I don't think I've ever spoken to anyone in the profession that did not have that kind of feeling and belief. And really, those three words, like quiet, calm, and um, you know,
Slow.
slow.
Or
Yeah,
they'll say something like, geez, I'm bored. Again,
yeah. Mhm.
go find something to do. How about that?
hmm And it's interesting how that's kind of, and I think you see it on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like the 911 shows, you see that there as well, don't you? Do they have scenes where somebody says, "Oh, it's quiet," and then all
Everybody
hell
goes,
breaks loose?
and then if you're like one of my favorite shows, and nobody come for me, but I'm gonna say it, like the original 911, love that show. And they've had situations where someone has said that, and everybody goes, and then there's bees, or there's a tidal wave, or an avalanche. Even though it's California, it's awesome.
those those avalanches in California. I guess it could be a rock avalanche.
No, it's got to be snow, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, like when you say quiet, you're gonna, unleash the thunders of God. So yeah.
Yes, and like even the one like the Lone Star 911, I think they had frogs raining out of the sky. It was awesome.
Um, See our episode "How Hollywood Gets It Wrong." But yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's really a part of the culture, I think, to be concerned about that. And
Yeah.
you'll see people that newly start for the first time, and they don't have that, and so they might say, "Oh yeah, I'm bored," as you said, or it's quiet, and then like they quickly learn, don't do that.
Because no matter how
bad.
many people are in the room, if there's 15 dispatchers in the room, 12 of them are going to turn around and go, ah, how dare you? Why did you say such a thing? And the poor rookie's like, what? What? What
I
happened?
didn't know.
What? I need practice. You get your practice on your own. because,
Get
because now I'm
it
going to
on
have
your
to
own
do all this
time.
extra work because you want to learn something. How dare you? Sit there
Hmm.
and read the policies and procedures or something.
Yeah, it's you know, I find that people, as they spend more time in the profession, reinforce that idea with
Sure.
themselves. And I don't know if it's tongue in cheek a little bit, as kind of like we've been doing on
Yeah.
this episode, or if there's people that are like really like this is going to cause serious mayhem.
I think if I take off my let's have some fun hat for a second, I think as much as we don't like to have to admit it, and God, this is going to be out there in the cosmos, so I won't be able to deny it. But the truth is, the stuff was going to happen anyway. But there's a certain, it's hard not to believe that when, like you said, it someone says it. I don't care if it's 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 15 minutes ago. They said it, nothing happened, and then all of a sudden the bottom has fallen out. Your brain immediately goes back to whoever that was that made that statement, and you're like, this is all your fault. I've had officers send MDC messages and go, man, it's slow. And I'm like, first, when whatever it happens, when the frogs come raining out of the sky, you're the one that's responding, and I don't want to hear no lip from you. That's just, it's it's superstition, and I don't know if on a logical level we know that it's just superstition, but it's also fun. Let's be honest. It's fun to beat up the person that says the word slow or
Play, I
bull.
guess, devil.
Yeah.
And to play a bit of, I guess, devil's advocate, we were talking a little bit about the show about chaos theory, the idea that a butterfly flaps its wings in Peking, the weather in New York is different.
Yep.
Um,
That's funny.
so, is like if somebody says it's quiet and you're another dispatcher and you hear that and you change how you're operating, so, oh, I better, keep some troops in reserve, or I better get all these calls really handled quickly in case something happens, and that causes something to happen, then you might have a chain of causality
This is true. Which, oh, wasn't that a Star Trek episode?
of there was that one, the Next Generation, where they
Yeah.
kept going back in time in the time loop.
Yes. 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 Again, y'all have to forgive me. I'm on one today. I'm just trying to stay focused. It's not going well. We just came back from the podcast convention, so I'm still a little high from that, still coming down from it. So I'm just kind of woo hoo hoo. Where I got to be a social butterfly, like I was in my element. It was
Hmm.
awesome. So
And
Gary's having to rein me in a little bit.
I will say Erica was very popular at the convention. Everybody was always coming up to her and saying, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, "Hey, you're the one that does the 911 podcast," and I'm sitting right next to her like a schlup or something. Nobody even like acknowledges me. Which it's fine. There's Erica right there. Why talk to me? But
That's the
yeah,
life of the producer, isn't it? Yeah, behind
very
the
much
scenes guy.
very very much in your element, and it was a lot of fun. So if
Yeah,
any of you are out there do podcasts, I would recommend going to at least one of them, because
yeah,
it's fun to kind of get out of the office and do something that's different than the day to day, which
yeah.
that was.
It was definitely that. And this is a family show, so I'm not going to get into some of the things that happened to us, but it was
Oh,
it
nothing
was
that bad. I mean,
it was different. It was definitely different, and so that's part of why I'm just kind of all over the place. But back to our topic, we have there's another one that we hadn't brought up, and that is the magnet.
yeah, the poop magnet, we'll call it.
Yeah, yeah, they called it the magnet, and it's usually or radio killer.
Yeah. I mean, you got the two ends right there. You've got like
Yeah.
everything's going to go wrong when she's on the radio, or nothing's going to happen when she's on the radio.
And we've had a few people like that that have come through where they go through their entire training and they don't have a foot pursuit or a car chase or any of the things that you really hope for, while the CTO is there going, come on, whatever the city is, bring it, give us your worst. We could use the practice. Now, of course, that sounds horrific to anyone that is outside of the industry. We're not hoping anyone gets hurt. If we had our way, we'd have all of the chaos with none of the casualty and none of the people getting hurt. But that's unfortunately just not how it works. But you have both ends of that, right? So I've had baby call takers and dispatchers where I'm like, if it's a call taker, we put ourselves in new hire, which means we get the calls before anybody else gets the calls. And we're sitting there going, cricket, cricket, twiddling our thumbs. I'm going, you're kidding me. And when the phone rings, we get the call. It's the criminal trespass. The guy or gal panhandling in front of the business and they want them to leave. And then the next call across the way a bit, they've got the, you know, bank robbery, for lack of a better way, and we're like,
Come on,
oh
man. That was supposed to be
man,
my call.
exactly. And again, we don't look forward to anyone being, no, bank robbery is a good thing, but in our line of business, the more chaos we can handle, the better prepared we are to release our little tadpole out into the world, that so we as twisted as it may sound, we need those. And so it's a
Yes.
real
Yeah.
bummer when it happens, when it just seems like to shut down. And then, of course, the whole center starts calling your baby call taker or dispatcher, the radio killer or the phone killer. Now, then you have the other side of that where it
Yeah.
seems like they walk through the door, put on their headset, sit down, plug in with their trainer, and the bottom falls out, the sky falls. It just Armageddon.
hmm
And it happens
So,
consistently when they come to work. It's the weirdest thing.
so let me ask you: do you think that sort of the superstition that pervades all of emergency services, because even the people in the field have these
Same.
same taboos?
Yeah.
Do you think that's more of a funny quirk of the industry, or do you think that that could actually lead to some problems?
I think it's more of a funny quirk because in all of my years, I don't recall there ever being anyone that's gotten like into a fist fight on the floor, or, or someone being, truly angry with another person because they said those words and then stuff happens. If there's anybody out there that's had that happen, I'm so sorry, because we all know, like I said, taking off the fun of the superstition, taking it off, and now we get serious for a second. We all know that whatever that thing is that happened was going to happen, whether you said it was slow or not. It just ultimately boils down. I just wish you wouldn't say it because it just gives me the heebie jeebies.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, it's being part of that superstition. It's like going into what is it, the bathroom and saying Bloody Mary three times. Is that a you
Which I
know
would never say.
right?
No,
Exactly. And
because that
you
I would
know,
be the one person that she'd show up for.
yeah. Likely nothing would happen, but yeah, you never know. Is it greater than a 0% chance? Maybe.
My brain would conjure her up, and then I'd smack myself upside the head trying to run out of there. I'd be one of those cartoon, when they run out of a building, and the outline of their body running out. That would be me.
Just an Erica shaped hole in the wall.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So no, see, I've never heard of anyone really becoming truly angry with another person because of it. I think I believe it's all in good fun, per se,
Mhm.
and we just know that it's superstition.
Yeah. I would say if you work in a place where people are, how did you phrase it, having fist fights over saying the word quiet, you might have some deeper issues going on than just some superstitions. Just putting that out there as a possibility. I don't know,
Yes,
but
you would. You would might want to consider some counseling, or so having those people sit on a couch for a little bit and talk to somebody about their anger management. Or
yeah, because that's too much. But yeah, I agree
yeah.
with you that it's sort of a fun quirk of the job. It's a nice bit of the culture, kind of like, um, at least in our center, potlucks are a really big part of the culture. Everybody
Yeah.
brings in food to share it. It's a bit of who we are without
Mm-hmm.
having to have anything formally written down about it, and
Yeah.
you know everybody kind of gets it and can participate in it. Because every once in a while, sometimes it'll slip out and say, "Oh man, so quiet today. Oh, I don't have anything to do," and then it's over.
Well, it happens with us among supervisors. Even we'll you're on day shift, I'm on evening shift. We're two shifts passing in the night. You'll say, I don't really have anything for you. I mean, we really didn't have too much going on today, and that's spoken in the past tense. You're
Mhm.
handing the shift and handing the floor and its employees over to me, and I never think anything of it. But then an hour into the shift, we got a SWAT call out. We got foot pursuits and car chases and basically just all hell breaking loose. And I'm
Yeah,
like, Gary,
yeah. Or if you've done something to upset me, when I leave, I might be like, "Have a quiet shift," you know, just to
and
put put the curse of the cat people upon you.
not the cat people. That's awesome. But I think you're right. I think that it's a quirk of our profession, and I know we're not the only ones. I remember, I'm not gonna tell you when I worked at McDonald's, so don't even try to guess. But when I was 12, because I'm only 25
Right.
now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I worked at McDonald's, and somebody would say it's slow, and then there'd be a bus come in, and there's 50 people on the bus, and another one will pull in right behind it after they say that, and I'm like,
Dang it.
yeah, as if these people being hungry had anything to do with them saying that and them picking one of the most recognizable fast food establishments in the world where you pass by on it, you exit an interstate. I don't care where you are. The chances are you're going to see those golden arches. But it's
Mhm.
your fault for saying that because they picked this one and not the one 2 miles down the road. It's just, I think every profession has it. Doesn't matter what it
Yeah.
is.
So, like, we're kind of curious for you guys. Do you at your centers have any odd quirks that you specifically try and avoid? Like, uh, I don't know, when walking into the building, you take one entrance hallway, and when leaving, you take a different one.
Yeah,
Um, is there like, oh, don't go into that bathroom; it's haunted or cursed or something, or
that would be
like,
crazy.
because there's so many of those. So if you have any of those, please let us know because those are really fun little tidbits, and I think that makes the job all the more enriching to
It does.
to give it that character.
Because I think and I love that how I think every shift has a vibe, and I think anybody that works in any shift work of any kind, no matter what industry it is, they will all agree. Each shift has a vibe. It has a character. It has a certain feel. You feel it when you walk in the door. You know which shift you're on, even if you were blindfolded. So that means and I'm sure that's the case with other comm centers and emergency centers. They all have a certain vibe. And I would
Hmm.
be curious to know what that is. Is day shift really laid back and chill where you work too? Or is it possible that depending on what it is, depending on where it is and what area of the country you live in, day shift might be your busiest. And is
Yeah.
potluck like us? We have 3 shifts of potlucks sometimes, even in one day, and we have a whole team that coordinates our potlucks, and they're themed, and it's wild and
It,
crazy. So that's one of our things.
yeah. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like if you have any, please let us know. We'd love to share it with everyone else because That's how I think we build a community here, and that's really one of our big goals.
Yeah.
And from the podcast convention that we went to, um, well, I think one of my big takeaways was to also express more clearly like how much we appreciate all of you listening,
Yeah.
and giving us feedback, because y'all are really why we do this show. We want to spread good policies and procedures, of course, and good methods for training, but
Mm-hmm.
ultimately it's the people that are going to make up, you know, who answers the phones, who dispatches on the radios,
Yeah.
and the medics and officers and firefighters who go out to the scenes. Like, you guys are the ones that make all this happen and keep everyone in the entire country safe. And so we really appreciate you, and we wanted you to know that.
Yep. And he's right. We're not in this to get rich because most likely we're not going to make millions. But that was not the reason for it. It really was born out of a desire to share knowledge and spend time talking with our colleagues, because that's what you guys are, the call takers and dispatchers and supervisors and even directors. It doesn't necessarily have to be frontline. It can be at any, or even those in industry that support us.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, Versaterm for one. And I mean, Flock also. They've been on the show, and we're looking forward to having them come back again. Chris is going to join us and talk about one of their new initiatives. So it's all about bringing awareness to our profession, and not just for the outside people outside the profession, but for our own, because we're just not that well known out there in the world of 911, unless you count the shows. Do you count the shows,
Well,
Gary?
I mean, that helps raise awareness, but it's also a little stylized, I'd say.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So outside of those, if those shows didn't exist, who else would tell our stories? I mean, there's a handful of amazing podcasts out there. We just wanted to, throw our hat in the ring and tell our story. So if you are interested in coming on and sharing your story, we would be delighted.
Yes, absolutely. And we hope that we've delighted you today with our episode discussing the superstitions in call centers and emergency services. And we hope that you all enjoyed it. From all of us here at Lifeline 911, I'm Gary,
I'm Erica.
and we will see you next week.
Thank you for watching our production of Lifeline 911. If you have any questions about today's topic or topics you'd like us to cover in the future, please reach out to us at lifeline911podcast@gmail.com. This has been a production of Lifeline 911 Podcast, copyright 2025. From all of us at Lifeline, stay safe out there. And until next time, this is Lifeline 911 signing off.